There becomes a point in some people's lives where they realize that they've been tethered to something, to someone, to some cause for so long of their life. And whether it's in a positive sense or a negative sense, chances are we will have both. Something that we will be tethered to for the rest of our lives, and other things which no longer serve us to a point. Like holding on to your parents, holding on to your family when you need to grow up. And if you could hear that, that was the clock in the background. Or a job. You're tethered to your job, in a sense. Holding on to something that potentially could be dying, though, is what I mainly want to discuss. Holding on to people who potentially are not even on the same wavelength as you anymore, or have never been because of age difference. And of course, when I'm saying that, I'm saying holding on to your parents. And yes, you want them to always be in your life, but there becomes a point where you need to start letting go of them a little bit so that you can find your own life, your own friends, people who just generally understand you, and that probably are more keen to your age. In a physical sense. When we hold on to these people, we start to become them in a sense. We are who we choose to associate with. For example, like me, I still am quite tethered to my parents. And as a result, I develop habits like they do, like anywheres from having high-end taste in cars to even just a simple, like, sort of like a grunt when I get up. Yeah, I developed that even though I have no apparent problems with me at all. Just simply because of influence. I've gained these influences. Sometimes they're positive, like when they tell me off for speeding in a car. Sometimes they're not, because they can't keep up with, like me, my physical body. Like, I might be tired, but they are ready to just lay down for the rest of the night by midday. If we've been out, let's say, by like 8 o'clock in the morning. We're different. We also see the world differently. They want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about it at all. I want to look at European German cars. They want to talk about the American. And that's just how it is. The difference in age. The difference in all of us. Some things they will never see. Some things they will never truly believe because of the decade that they lived in. Just like with my generation, we've accepted some of our things and have discarded certain things that they deem my parents' generation, how you say, normal, in a sense, that were seen as, good at the time, now becoming bad. They'll never see that as being so, but my generation will. And you'll see that in the long run. The point of this was just saying that I need to become a little bit less tethered to my parents, and a little bit more of myself, finding my own way in this world when they have found theirs. It's hard. It's hard to make friends nowadays when we are not, nowadays, really encouraged to. Sometimes we are, but with social media and all that, we have less need for it anymore. Our entertainment doesn't revolve around friends, it can revolve around our computer screens. For some, that'll it'll always revolve around friends for some. Like if you take up a sport, if you decide to go out clubbing, things of that nature. But I digress. The reason why I cling to my parents so much is because I know that they'll be around for at least a little while longer. I know that I can lean on them for support in some instances. Some things I'll never feel comfortable talking with them about. Like even things like this, I probably will never speak to them about. But I still cling to it because it's the only thing I have. When you have no friends, when you have no one that you can truly lean on to guide you, besides for your family, you cling to what you have. And that's my, how you say, ordeal. So thank you for listening. And this is the end. Not of me doing this exercise, but of this recording.